Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, while briefing the media after the cabinet meeting, informed that two main topics were discussed, which included placing the Meghalaya Ropeway Bill in the coming session of the Assembly and the discussion on various aspects of the talks with the banned organization, the Nyothrap National Liberation Council. He said the government felt it is a necessity to encourage tourism in a big way in the state and attract more tourists to visit Meghalaya. The Ropeway Bill, which ultimately be passed by the House into a state act, will open new vista for tourism in the state. The Chief Minister said that immediately the government is having in mind to start with the Shillong Peak Ropeway with the initial budget of rupees 120 crores. The Shillong Peak Ropeway, he hoped, will attract many tourists to the state. On the subject of talks with the HNLC, he said the process had started and it will take time to untie the complicated knots. This matter should not be expected to come to the conclusion so soon, he said.
Today, the Meghalaya Ropeway Bill 2022. This is basically a bill that is going to lay down the procedures, for different passenger tourist ropeways that are expected to come up in the state. The first one being the Shillong Peak Ropeway, for which an amount of roughly about approximately 140 crores through the new development bank has already been sanctioned, and we expect that we should be calling the tender for this Shillong ropeway project in the next 15 days to 30 days time. And so this act basically a bill is basically to give a proper structure on how applications can be made for ropeways and what are the different procedures to be followed in setting up the ropeways, the different bodies that will be in place which will give the necessary licenses and permissions, and what are the different safety measures that have to be taken up while putting up. All of these are being put in the bill, and obviously this will ensure that a standard procedure is set in place, keeping in mind the overall safety of the tourists and the citizens who will be using the different ropeways. So this very important Meghalaya Ropeway Bill 2022 was cleared today by the cabinet, and this will be placed in the assembly in the coming assembly session to be cleared in the assembly session. So if you remember, we have been working on the tourist ropeway project for Shillong and other parts of the state for almost 2 years now, and we have faced a large number of hurdles, be it clearances, be it finance, be it legislations that had to be done. So basically, this process has taken us a long time, but we are now finally at the point where we have taken the necessary permissions from everywhere. We have finalized the locations. We have got all the now the act also will be passed in the bill will be passed and will become an act in the assembly. And as I said, tendering process also after that in the next 15 to 20 days will take place. So all this is happening in terms of the tourism aspect. The aspect that you're mentioning about is regarding for commuters and whether we can have ropeways for public transportation. That, of course, is also in our radar, but the planning and implementation for that is much more larger and much more complicated. It's not a very simple project, but definitely in the long run, it will help us to ease the traffic, and definitely it's an option that we will explore. But for the immediate, we have come out with this particular Meghalaya Ropeway Bill 2022, starting with the tourism part, and slowly we'll expand this and incorporate other parts of urban transportation, even for goods transportation, and all other forms of ropeways that may be required in the future. But as of now, it's mainly for the purpose for tourism. The proposal to place the Meghalaya Goods and Service Tax Ordinance 2022. This is basically an ordinance that was cleared, that was passed in the previous cabinets, and we have to obviously place it in the assembly. So basically, the cabinet today has decided that this bill will be placed in the assembly. These are basic amendments that are there, which are made in line with the decisions that are made by the GST Council. And once the council makes those decisions, accordingly, all the state governments amend the necessary the state acts, and this is basically as a continuation of the decisions that were made in the GST Council and to regularize those decisions. Second, of course, I mentioned to him about the ongoing talks with the HNLC, and I briefed him on the developments that have taken place and the discussions that have been taking place, and how we plan to take it forward, and the different issues and concerns that were there, and which are not that serious in nature. And I should say that there were some points of discussion, and which the discussions are going on as we speak. But we are very positive. All the stakeholders involved in this talk are positive, and we are working hard with a lot of trust and confidence that we'll be able to take this to a logical conclusion, and that we are very much committed to it, because we would like to see that we're able to resolve this issue also, and bring in kind of a long-lasting peace in the state. And so I briefed him about that, and of course he shared some points and how to move forward, and which I don't feel appropriate to share with right now with everybody, because these are matters that are internal to the discussions going on. At an unofficial level, have already communication has started. So we cannot say that there are peace talks, but as you're aware that a lot of groundwork has to be done. We have to build up the confidence. We have to discuss different matters. It's not that just we meet one fine day and we say let's start talking. It doesn't happen like that. It's very complicated. So the process to come to an official talk to start, that process has started, and we are doing the groundwork for it, and we're hopeful that very soon we will be able to have the official talks starting very soon. But unofficially, many rounds of discussions have taken place. As I said, I can't give too many details, but I can assure you that a lot of hard work is going on into this, and it's many years we have had this concerns and issues, and it's not very simple to just simply sit one day and say let's start talking. So we have to build up, and the most important is the trust and the confidence level, and that's what we're trying to do. And we feel that we have made quite a bit of headway in that, and we're hopeful that we should be able to start official talks soon. But I would not like to put a date to it right now.